Hello, my name's Ashley Windsor, and today I'm going to do another Dead Reckoning flight this time from Manassas in Northern Virginia, and going to Luray Caverns. And that flight's actually about 46 nautical miles, and it's tracking 276 degrees. Now let's have a look here. Just make sure. I think I might have to set this up a bit. About there. That's about 276. So that's the direction we need to take magnetic. And so have a quick look at the flight plan I've drawn up today. So from Manassas to Luray Caverns, the top of climb, which has been determined through the performance charts in the aircraft flight manual. The climb to 4,500 feet will take about 9 nautical miles of the total distance, and it's estimated to take about 7 minutes. And we'll go through about 1.7 gallons of fuel to climb up to 4,500 feet, which will leave a total distance remaining of 37 nautical miles in cruise, which will take approximately 19 minutes. And then it'll burn about 3.3 gallons, because I've estimated a gallons fuel burn of about 10.5 gallons per hour. And with the amount of fuel we have on board this morning, there's plenty of fuel, so fuel is not going to be an issue. Alright, so we may as well get started. So what I'll do is pop the brake off. Fuel pump, yeah, very good. Oh, Peter head, sure. I didn't do the pre-flight, so right, let's get this puppy started. Oops, get this puppy straight. I'm telling you now, the right, you do have to steer to the right in real life, but it's over-exaggerated. But anyway, RPM is up and airspeed is alive. And start to rotate, 55. And just take note of the time, 1:09. It's so much easier to fly in real life than these things. Let's just go on the heading now. Normally you climb a bit higher before you start going onto your heading, but we're treating it as CTAF to CTAF. Even though I realise Manassas is a controlled airfield within the ADIS zone, we're not following ADIS procedures, so just be wary of that. This is not the video to watch to get correct ADIS procedures. Okay, so estimated time of departure was 1:09. And today we're climbing to 4,500 feet. And so we should be at 4,500 feet by approximately, the time it says 2:06. Yeah. Climb a bit faster than that because our speed is quite high. Increased it to 900 feet per minute, so the speed should start dropping off a little bit. Cruise en route climb, you've got to climb between 70 and 85 knots, so we're a little fast, so that's why I've increased it to 900 feet a minute. Increased it to 1,000 feet a minute. Just got to watch that speed, it'll start dropping off. We've got full throttle and the mixture is rich. Okay, so the speed's dropping off to 85 now. Just keep an eye on it because the speed will continue to drop. Approaching 2,500 feet and climbing to 4,500. We'll reduce the rate of climb a bit. just so the speed doesn't get too low. And obviously as you're climbing, you'll be keeping an eye out, looking outside, keeping an eye out for traffic. Obviously keep in mind I'm not following all correct procedures today, I'm just doing a very basic CTAF to CTAF flight. So minimal radio communications. Okay, 3,000 feet. And the speed's continuing to drop off there. So I'll just reduce it by 100 feet. Beautiful day for flying, and obviously the wind is set till nil wind, so there's not going to be any drift or anything like that we need to do today. 3,500 feet, 1,000 feet to go. And the speed is continuing to drop off slowly. Approaching 4,000 feet, so we've got another 500 feet to go. Large lake out there. Now, while we're climbing, we should eventually pass over a town, Warrenton. It's about quite 20 miles out. It's a relatively large town, and there's two major interstate freeways that join up to it, and then one that goes past it through the town in a westerly direction. It is very hazy. This is what it is like this in Northern Virginia. It is quite hazy, and despite the visibility being quite good, the haziness actually obviously makes it difficult to spot other traffic in the area. So you always do need to keep a good lookout. And also something to keep in mind, flying single engine also, is just keeping an eye out for suitable places to land as well if you were to suddenly have an engine failure. And obviously Northern Virginia does offer a lot of places, such as all these places down here, a lot of open paddocks, all within gliding distance. There's plenty of places. Okay, time for the Okay, the aircraft has accelerated. I'll just reduce the power a little bit to 2,600, as you can see, just a little bit. Very good. Anyway, I'll just quickly go through the en route checklists. So that's clear off. So the acronym is clear off, CLEAROF. And C stands for compass, so we make sure the DG is aligned with the compass, which it does appear to be. That's not how I see it. Yeah, the DG is aligned with the compass, quite good. Log, well yeah. We got to the cruise at about 2.6. It's currently 2.7. So let's just based on the estimate, we should be over Luray at about time 4:05 on this clock here. So that would be something to keep an eye on. And that's based on the predetermined flight plan. The engine, obviously we have it set at 2600 RPM. The oil temperature is reading in the green. Oil pressure is reading also in the green. Obviously switches are on both. Fuel flow is just over 10 gallons an hour. And we have plenty of fuel. Altimeter is set to 29902. I believe that's the default for the flight sim, and I'm not going to worry about changing it today. Radio, normally you listen to the flight, monitor your flight service frequency. You'd also be monitoring the CTAF frequency, the airport you're heading towards. And obviously also you'd want to quickly tune into the AWOS for your destination airport and get a weather update. Orientation, we're supposed to be heading in westerly direction. We are heading west. We're supposed to be crossing a mountain range eventually, going by the look of this chart. And I should be passing over a town which I haven't seen. Called Warrington. And there's actually two freeways leading up to it, and then one freeway leading out of it in the westerly direction. And because it's approximately, what is it? Yeah, we probably passed it, but I didn't see it. Yeah, we're probably just past it, but I didn't see it. Sheets for you, let's see if we can see it from out here. There's the Interstate Freeway. There's the town there, I think. Yeah, that will be Warrington back there. Okay. That freeway, there it is, peels off to the left, just as expected. The freeway does go off to the left, and then we will eventually come across it again. It'll cross our path and be on our right hand side before the large mountain range. As you can see, there are mountains off in the distance there. So as far as orientation goes, I believe we are heading in the right direction. So I'm happy with that. Fuel. Make sure the fuel pump is on both. The fuel pump we can actually turn off. Should have turned it off in the cruise climb. And fuel gauge, we are showing just under 20 gallons on either tank. So just under 40 gallons total. And we know we're burning approximately 10 gallons per hour. So we actually have plenty of fuel, because the entire flight is expected to take approximately 26 minutes. So fuel is not an issue today. And it looks like it's the major highway off to our left. And obviously you're keeping an eye out too. But that's the clear off checks. Compass, your log, engine, altimeter, radio, orientation and fuel. Something to keep in mind also with regards to the clear off checks. You probably have to do it every 10 minutes or so. Some of the things might change. The main reason being the DG, and some aircraft, they actually start to drift within the first 5 minutes of setting it up. So it's really important that you get the DG aligned with the compass, and that will vary from one aircraft to another. And so it's important that you keep an eye on that. And that's why the main reason you need to go through the clear off checks on a regular basis. I won't today because the settings are pretty good on this flight simulator. And obviously I've got the Oops, I'll turn that off. I don't want you to see where the nav aid is, where Luray Caverns is. The GPS are purposely on screens that don't show you any useful information with regards to navigation. There's the freeway still on the left-hand side, and it looks like it's getting ready to cross our path. And it should be crossing our path just before we get to the large mountains. You can see the large mountains are approaching right here. It's obviously harder to see on the right-hand side. I can't see it over there. But Luray is located on the other side of the large mountain range, but before a smaller mountain range. Luray Airport is located to the west of the town of Luray, so if we can find the town of Luray, just look to the west of the town, we should see the airport. It's also located with an interstate freeway leading up to the airport, and also the Shenandoah Valley River. The Shenandoah River leads up to that airport as well. So once we cross over the mountain range, we should be able to get, visually locate the airport. I'd probably do my CTAF call right about the top of the mountains. Just to say you're about 10 miles to the east, inbound for a full stop landing. Something like that. And I'd probably do that at about... Our estimate's 4.5, so I'd probably do it at about 4.0 at the latest. Just go signing in for a more interesting view. See, there's the interstate freeway just off to the right hand side. Excellent, I'm happy with that. It's so much easier when you can see things this way. So this will be the large mountain range coming up here, off to our left a little bit. It's showing the highest peak at about 4,000 feet. To the south of our track is 4,050 feet. So that would be that peak there, based on our 4,500 foot altitude. And the airport is not south of that. The airport is actually north of that position. So I'm quite happy we're heading generally in the right area. And once again, you can see the interstate freeway just below us there. And approaching the mountains, the interstate freeway should be crossing from right to left as we start approaching the base of the mountains, and it looks like it is doing that. And it looks like it all of a sudden just peels way off. And where the interstate peels right off to the left, we should be flying pretty much right over the corner, the curve, which is there. So I think we're pretty much on track. That's really good. That's good. So what I would do is take note of the time, 3:07, over that point on your map, right where the curvature is in the freeway, and you can calculate your ground speed based on how far you've gone, how far you've got to go. I won't worry about it because I know exactly where I am. And shortly I'll do, you'd make a CTAF call to let people know that you're inbound. It's not much to Luray Airport. It's a single runway. 0422. So picture it this way. So 22's there, 04 is here, so it's running that way. Both are left-hand circuits, left-hand patterns. And I'm not going to bother descending or anything like that. I'm just going to show you how to basically get there. Approaching the top of the peaks here. I'm going by my chart and just a rough estimate. We're about 10 miles out now. Now, this is not using GPS, this is just rough guesstimates on the map. So Luray traffic, Cessna 172 Sierra Papa, approximately 10 miles to the east, inbound for a full stop landing, Luray traffic. You could also give me your estimate 45, ETA 45. And obviously if there's anyone there at the airport list flying at the moment, you could find out what runway they're using, if they're using any at all, because obviously we'd normally have the AWOS by now. And we'd know what airport, which runway to use if there was no one else there. So estimate 45, so what we need to look for is a town, and the airport is just to the west of that town. That looks like a town. Love my super pilot vision here. That's too hazy, but there's the town. And with our estimate of 45, I think that's looking pretty good. So yeah, there's the high peak here. It's about 4,050 feet. And we obviously know that it's not south of the highest peak there. That's actually when I see things. There's a town, so to the west of the town, so west is straight forward. There should be an airport. Anyway, let's see. Luray has an airport elevation of 900 feet. It's actually 903, but you know, your pattern height, traffic pattern would be at 1,900 feet, so over 2,000. So you'd drop at least 2,500 feet, about 500 meter a minute, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So you'd probably actually start your descent already. Interstate meets, there we go, look at that, there's the airport. Should be an interstate freeway somewhere around here, and meets the river, and there's the river there. Interstate there. I lost it. It happens. Bridge. Oh, there's an airport. Oh, there. Please. And we can also confirm. Navo is actually just north of the airfield. But yeah, I'm satisfied that that is Luray Airport coming up. time 4.6 or was it 4.5? Time 4.5. It's 4.2. I'm getting pretty close. Look at that. Down to Luray is actually a really nice area too. It's, you've got the Luray caverns, the underground caverns, and that's beautiful. Actually, it reminds me a lot of Victoria right here, where I'm currently living, especially the Warburton, Hillsville area. It's very, very similar to that. 4.3. Let's have a look outside. Look at that. There's the river. There's the interstate. And there's the town. That, my friends, is Luray Caverns Airport. I do have one story. When I flew into this airport in my 152 years ago, when I had a 152, I was coming in on this runway here. Did all the normal, pattern entry, radio calls, whatnot. And I was coming in on final. There's a guy down here, right where the arrow is right now, doing the grass cutting with his whippersnipper, and he couldn't hear me coming. He obviously wasn't listening to the CTAF frequency, and he finally heard me when I was on really short final, and he chopped that thing in and he ran. The poor guy scared the hell out of him. So I did a go around, and I was too embarrassed to land there. So I never actually landed there. I just did a touch and go, and I got out of there. Poor guy. Anyway, oops. 4.4. There we go. Not a bad estimate. So I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me anytime. I can be reached through my website, ashleywindsor.com, or you can reach me through social media on Facebook and Twitter. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Dead reckoning is very straightforward, and I hope you do practice it, because it's a good skill to have. If for whatever reason you lose your GPS or the ground-based navigation aids are not available, or you have a complete electrical failure on board your aircraft, you can still find your way around with a watch, a map, and a compass. Thanks for watching. See ya.